not mocking you. It's Mocking With You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all with your host, Lil B, and the hater.
Audio's going in and out. Hello and welcome to the Mocking With You podcast. We're bringing you a special episode. As we told you last week, we are bringing you our NFL playoff predictions, but we do have a guest this week. We are bringing in Tyler, our old co-host from the All Time Misfits podcast, for this week's episode as well. And we're going to get right into it. But before we get into our predictions, Chris wanted to talk about the Eagles and Saquon Barkley not playing this week to go for the NFL record of Eric Dickerson's rushing career or season yards. This is how I feel about it. He got to 2017 games. If he beat the record, there would have been an asterisk by it because of the 18th game.
Really? Wouldn't that be though?
A lot of new records are going to break over time because of this extra game.
No, everyone probably was saying that when Nicholson broke it, and it was O.J. Simpson's record, and did it in 12 games.
I mean, what do people think about Mike Evans going? He's going to play to go get the 1,000 out of his career, but he was hurt, so it doesn't matter. Getting this extra game. I mean, he didn't play all 17 games.
I can't believe he's getting $1,000, and he's missed 6 games.
All Mike Evans needs is like 80 yards for
what?
1,000. Yeah, that's all Evans needs.
Dude, Mike Evans. Remember, like a couple of years ago, that we did like the top all-time wide receivers, and we had him on the list, and everyone was all mad.
I had him on the list, and you guys judged me. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we were all mad. Well, yeah. Go ahead, take your victory lap.
I already knew I was on the fucking right side of that list. Haters gonna hate. Well, yeah, I don't mind Barkley not playing. The Eagles have locked up their playoff spot. They're all busted and bruised. I mean, I don't think Barkley's ever touched the ball this many times in a single season. So if you can give him an extra week of rest going into the playoffs, they're definitely going to host against the Packers or the Commanders this next weekend. So, I mean, I have no problem. I mean, a lot of these teams that are fighting, that are locked up, they have injury problems like crazy. I don't have a problem resting guys this week for next week. Just like the Packers. Like, the Packers are locked. We can't really do anything to our playoff spot. And, I mean,
are we locked in?
Yeah, we've locked a playoff spot weeks ago.
So when you guys lost last week, you pretty much locked it in, right? Like,
we already
won last week.
2 or 3 weeks ago, we locked.
Oh, okay.
So last week was, outside chance of potentially, getting a higher seed, and we had no chance for the NFC North because we went 1-5 against division opponents this year, or 1-4, or however that math works. We lost the Lions and the Vikings twice, and only beat the Vikings.
No one's crazy about the Packers' record is, and they're still not. They've been champions. No,
and we're 0-4 against the the Vikings and the Lions. The only win in our division this year is against the Bears. So, let's go ahead.
Tyler, is it an issue or not an issue?
I don't think it's an issue.
You asking me?
Yeah, you.
I mean, not really. I mean, it would be a good accomplishment for Barkley, but, I kind of agree with Matt, though. Like, it does kind of have an asterisk because he didn't do it in 14 games or whatever it was. It was 17, and, I mean, that does matter. So
he got 2,000 in the regular season,
I mean, and that's great anyway. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it is. So the fact he doesn't get it, not a big deal. I mean, hey, if you would ask him, like, hey, does the Eagles win the Super Bowl or do they make it deep in the playoffs or I get that record? I'm sure 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, he's going to say, I'd rather have the team success.
Yeah.
So
He's happy to be in the playoffs in a high seed. Let's be honest.
Yeah, because let's be honest, he's never won anything. He's never won anything.
Yeah, that's what
Penn
Xavier
State,
McKinney.
Penn State didn't do nothing with him.
That's what Xavier McKinney said when he was a Packer, and they locked up the playoff spots weeks ago. He's like, "What is this?" And Keyshawn Nick and screams in the background, "Welcome to Green Bay. All we do is make it to the playoffs," or something. Like, Nick and Xavier McKinney at the Giants, I think, had one playoff berth, and he got it in like the last week. So,
all right, yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, what? Barkley would get hurt in a meaningless game, clinching a record that honestly who cares?
it would only have been interesting because of the day and age of the passing of the ball.
I think if the Eagles were not in the playoffs, they probably would have done it.
Let's just picture, though, how many touchdowns were stolen from Saquon Barkley because of the tush push at the 0-yard line.
A lot.
Like, I think like 14 rushing touchdowns this year.
14 touchdowns from the tush push.
Yeah, like, just give half of those to fucking Barkley.
Yeah, even half of them would have been like 5, so like 20 touchdowns he would have.
Yeah, Barkley had an amazing season, but Barkley's season could have been a lot more impressive. Alrighty, so this is gonna be fun. We all know 6 of the 7 teams have been locked up. Is it? Yeah, 7 teams make the playoffs now, right? On both sides. All right, I forget the extension. It was 7. The only team that have not, both the 7th seed for the AFC and the 7th seed for the NFC have not been locked up. So 6 of the 7 seeds have been locked up. So this weekend is a lot of important matchups for the playoff scenario. So the Ravens.
That was confusing, by the way, what you just said.
Yeah, I know. So the Ravens and the Steelers are fighting for the AFC North title this weekend. The Bengals are playing and need to win. They need a win and a Denver loss, plus a Miami loss or tie at the Jets to make the playoffs.
The Bengals in the middle.
The Broncos play the Chiefs. They need a win, and they're in. If they win, they're in. But if they lose or if they have a tie, they get in by a Cincinnati loss and a Miami loss. So Denver has the easiest. Denver just needs to win against Kansas City, and they're in. Miami needs a win plus a Denver loss to get in. That's the AFC scenario for the 7th seed. Then the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons need a win plus a Tampa Bay loss to get in. Tampa Bay needs a win and an Atlanta loss. And Atlanta's playing Carolina, who's been on a hot streak. So we'll see. Detroit, if they win, they're the number 1 seed. Simple as that. If they beat the Vikings, they're the number 1 seed. There's your that's the importance on the NFC side. Let's go ahead and I didn't even know Big D made his own predictions.
They have his own little Latin and no winning.
Yeah, and so is Jolene, as always. There's it on the screen really quickly. There's the predictions for week 1, and I'm trying to. I don't even see. Oh, there they are. Wild card round. But he must have scroll down a little bit on the wild card because the wild card round. Mike has Green Bay winning, but they're not in the divisional. Okay, there it is. I was trying to figure out this. They're light up their team colors on the top, and then when you get to the divisional, they go away.
It's a little. I can't believe he has them winning.
Yeah, Mike's
By the way,
going to be
got the Eagles.
Yeah, that's probably the right approach to go here, to be honest with you.
So what is the Pack? You know offhand, like what the Packers' record is against the Eagles? Is it like even?
We we only lost. I mean, we lost to the Eagles, but are you talking about overall all-time record?
Overall in the playoffs.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know that. It's not
I do
good.
remember that 4th and 29 then.
Yeah, fuck you. I mean, we beat them when we won the Super Bowl in 2010.
Yeah, Michael Vick. They got the butt hit.
The pick in the end zone at the fourth quarter. But all right, let's go ahead and discounts. Let's go to ours. We already that's enough. It's too much to call those out. Mike has Detroit winning it all, and Jolene has Buffalo winning it all.
Yeah, I love it.
They both have Buffalo going to the final.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start with Tyler there. Let's have Tyler pick his divisional or his wild card round there. It'd just be easier for him to pick the wild card round, and then we'll move on. Or I guess it's actually week 17.
Week 18, right?
Week 18
Week 18.
So go ahead and do your week 18 picks, and then we'll move on.
Okay, so I'm assuming that the home team is on the right? So like Detroit?
Yes, correct.
Just checking. Okay, yes. So I am going to take Detroit in this matchup here. Yeah. I'm just going to give the nod to the home team. I mean, I think, it's going to be a good one, obviously. I think Tampa Bay is going to get the job done. They're going to feed the ball to Mike Evans, kind of like they did last week. Same thing.
They're going to make sure Mike Evans gets his 1,000 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield, by the way, too, has incentives on the line, too, in that game.
Oh, no?
Yes, he does. That's a little hidden thing, too, a lot of people don't know about. I got to go with Atlanta here. Carolina has been fighting hard lately, but I'm going to give it to Atlanta. Yeah. I mean, it might seem like a homer pick, but I mean, legitly, Pittsburgh has been stumbling over the last handful.
Haven't they lost 5 straight or something like that?
Like 5 straight.
Cincinnati knows they have to have this game. They've been fighting hard over the last handful of weeks. There's no way they're losing this game.
And the defense of Pittsburgh has been struggling. Can they stop Joe Burrow and company?
I'm at this point, I don't think anybody's stopping him. I mean, unless they don't make the playoffs, which will be on next week. So let's move on to Cleveland, Baltimore. I mean, Cleveland's terrible. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Carson Wentz is starting.
Isaiah Pacheco's out. Chris Jones is out.
So it's all the key starters for Kansas City.
Yeah,
so all the second string playing.
We do need
Jawan Taylor. All right, here you go, because it just got posted. Isaiah Pacheco, Jawan Taylor, McCord Harmon, and Jalen Watson out. Doubtful: Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, Trent McDuffie, Nick Bolton, Kareem Hunt, George Karlaftis, Travis Kelce, Justin Reed, and Drew Tranquil are all doubtful.
Man, that's never done.
So the whole team.
So technically, though, it's not starters on both sides. It's the most key players of both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
So you didn't have better yet.
Here's the thing, though, man. Like, I don't think that we can underestimate the fact that I think a part of Kansas City knows they don't want to potentially see Cincinnati, but also I don't think they want their division rival either to get in the playoffs. That's a whole nother thing of it. Yeah. And let's not act like Kansas City. Let's not act like Carson Wentz has had big games in his career. Like he's had more.
Before the back injury and the year they won the Super Bowl, he was the MVP.
I'm going to take a stab on Kansas City.
I don't hate it.
I know Bo Nix has played well this year as a rookie, but he's still a rookie, right? I mean, there's a chance that maybe he comes out here kind of flat in a game that they really, really need. And in New York, I mean, here's the thing. Tua's not playing for Miami, and that makes all the difference. We've seen it all year long. When Tua doesn't play,
is Aaron Rodgers playing or is Tyrod Taylor playing?
Well, I mean, the fact that Rodgers has made it like it could be his last game, or it could be his last game in New York. I would go out on a limb and say he's going to have a pretty solid game here. And he's one touchdown pass away from 500, which matters. Yes, he is. He's sitting at 499. So without Tua, there's no way that Miami wins here. There's no way.
But wait, why is Tua benched?
He's not benched. He's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt again.
Again?
Yeah,
A hip.
it's not head this time. I forget what it is.
Hip this time.
I missed that.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
it's not of a long shot for the Bengals as you think, Chris, because he didn't know that Tua was out.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's good information.
All right. I'll jump
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and jump. We'll do the play matchups for Week 18. It's going to be simple here. I do agree. I do think Detroit does everything in their power to get the bye week and beat Minnesota, win the North one more time. So I got Detroit beating Minnesota.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
And then I agree. This New Orleans team, again, is playing Shane Rattler, who hasn't shown anything in like 6 starting games. He's going to be a good backup for a long time, but Tampa Bay is playing for a playoff berth. They're playing to give Mike Evans everything. I just think this is this could be a close game just because of it being a divisional round. New Orleans could play to keep their counterparts out, because if Tampa Bay loses, they have a longer shot to get into the playoffs. So, of course, New Orleans is playing to keep their divisional opponent out of the playoffs, but I'm going to still go with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is the overall better team at this time. This is where I'm going to sidetrack a little bit with Tyler. I agree with you. This is a 49-51 game. It can go either way right now. With it being Atlanta, I would lean, but I like what I've been seeing from Bryce Young. I like what Dave Canales has done for Bryce Young and the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to want to go out on top, get another win. Also hurt their divisional opponents here in Atlanta. And I don't like Raheem Morris. I don't think Raheem Morris is a great coach. I just think this is where they're going to fall out short. They're going to come out. They're going to miss. Michael Penix starting again, who hasn't looked good. I mean, obviously he's a rookie late into the year.
And he looked good.
No, he has not. Not even close.
He looked sharp last week.
What game are you watching?
Let that up.
Dude had he's Anthony Richardson out there without the legs. No accuracy whatsoever. Everybody wanted to talk. He was like the most dude was throwing his arm motion and his timing is all over the place, just like it was in college. Just like why he was QB7 for us. I think Bryce Young is a better quarterback. I think Carolina is better coached, and I'm going to go with Carolina here, and Carolina knocks out Atlanta, which I love. I agree with Tyler here, though. I am picking Cincinnati just because I think Cincinnati's offense is unstoppable right now. Cincinnati's defense is going to be the problem, but luckily Pittsburgh's offense is on a down streak and just looking bad. So it's kind of the perfect time. Bad offense against a bad defense and a great offense against an okay defense, a subpar defense. So I just think Cincinnati comes out on top here, and Zach Taylor and tries and does everything to keep his job for one more year. Baltimore. I mean, if they are playing DTR again, the Baltimore or Cleveland has no chance. And there's rumors again speculating, is it time for Baltimore and John Harbaugh to part like the Eagles and Andy Reid did? So I think, if
that's crazy.
I get it. I mean, I just think there's the rumors again with Tomlin and the Steelers parting ways if it's a one and done there. So, but this is, again, I'm disagreeing with Tyler. I'm sorry, Tyler. I was going to try to get your boys in, but I just think Denver here is playing well. Bo Nix, this offense, Sean Payton's doing everything right now. Kansas City has too many pieces missing. I don't think they're even going to really play that hard. They're not playing for anything. I understand that they're playing to keep their Denver out, but I just think Denver's playing everybody, and all the injuries and all the key pieces being out is going to make the difference for Denver to win this game. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I think Denver does enough to win this game to make it to the playoffs and knock it out Cincinnati. And then New York wins right now. With it being in New York, I'm going to pick New York, and Miami loses and potentially lose the end of Mike McDaniel down in Miami. So, go ahead, Chris. What's your Week 18?
All right. I'm going to quit here. I'm putting Detroit. You know what? Actually, I'm going to go desperate rain here. I'm picking Minnesota.
Get Minnesota the 1 seed then. If Minnesota wins, they can take the 1 seed. Well, some other things have to happen. I take that back. If Minnesota, if they win, though, has a chance at the 1 seed.
Yeah, I didn't do it. Sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. They win. They get the 1 seed.
That's what I was about to say. The winner of that game is 1 seed, no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. Whoever wins that game walks away at the 1 seed.
That's the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking Tampa. New Orleans dog shit. They didn't do nothing. They're starting, what's his name?
Shane Rattler.
Yeah. Yeah, Rattler. He doesn't look terrible. He didn't look good, though. I'm picking Atlanta. I think they can get it done. But Carolina will give them a run for their money. I don't believe in Pittsburgh. I don't. They have started to show signs that they're not good. Like Russell Wilson is back to looking like Denver Russell Wilson.
The honeymoon is over.
The honeymoon is over. This will be the last home game for Mike Tomlin. Baltimore, yeah, Baltimore. The Browns are ass. You know what? I'm gonna take Kansas City. Something tells me that, like, LIX have, like, the worst game ever.
You're just trying to make sure you're just trying to get Cincinnati into the playoffs like Tyler.
I hate Denver.
Hey, listen. We got to be honest about something real fast, though. You know, plenty of people, including myself, I know you have questioned it before, Matt, and I think he has too. If anyone ever has any doubts that the NFL is rigged, right? Cincinnati getting in proves that it is, or helps that it is. Because listen, you know damn well, just as good as me, they want Cincinnati in over Denver.
Yeah, 100%.
You know they do.
Yeah. Well, listen,
No, they want to shoot the narrative. Oh, look,
they called offsides on Green Bay for that field goal. What was missed, so they can get another, like, to make sure that this week Minnesota Detroit meant something. They
had to.
Yeah, they made. I mean, I'm not saying
that was the dumbest call I've seen, but one of them
for Minnesota to make sure Minnesota would win that game. Green Bay had the chance at the end, but they made sure there's enough for.
Okay.
All right, so jumping over
Tyler
to the NFC or the wild card round, and your first matchup is Pittsburgh versus Houston.
Okay. Jeez.
Oh, okay.
I gotta go with Houston. Not because
two overrated teams right now.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Who's better?
Houston would be the home team in this scenario, so
yeah,
going with the home team.
Yeah, I mean, because Stroud has not been that great this year, man. He's really kind of had a down year.
I think he's having a sophomore slump. I still believe in Stroud. I just think it's a sophomore slump, bad O-line, just overall. And Ben Stolick had a down year. Sophomore slump. I still believe is all I get to.
It's weird with Pittsburgh because, like, we've seen when Pickens is hurt or if he's not on, they can't do anything on offense without him.
Yeah, because they have no. Exactly. They don't have a true one. Pickens is great, but he's not an elite one. He is a boomer bust wide receiver. What are you doing, Chris? Why are you jumping all over the place?
Fine.
You're making it impossible to keep track when you're just scrolling through the screens.
All right. Well, if you look at the AFC, oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I know what you were doing, and I was confused on why you were doing it.
I was confused. I guess we'll work out though.
Yeah. All right, you got Chargers versus Baltimore in your next matchup.
The hardball bowl.
A hardball bowl.
Again.
Oh man, this right here will be a crazy game. I mean, I really think it will, but wow. I think I got to take Baltimore in a close game.
Yeah, the Chargers aren't there yet. They need a couple. They need to do some more in the offseason here. They're not Super Bowl contenders quite yet.
Okay.
Cincinnati versus Buffalo.
I know what he's gonna do.
He wants to, but he knows he can't. He wants to, but he knows he can't.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what to do because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Buffalo's legit. I think Buffalo is probably the best they've been in years.
Yeah, this is
because it was losing Diggs was like a subtraction by addition type move.
Different by
Yeah, I had it backwards, but you know what I meant.
Isn't it funny that Houston and C.J. Stroud are having a bad year with Diggs?
Isn't that true? Like he's like they're having he's with less.
But here's the thing.
But didn't Diggs get hurt?
He did, but even still before that.
His toxicity in the locker room.
Yeah.
If I pick Cincinnati to get in the playoffs, then I have to pick them to continue to win.
You do.
Because listen to me. This team has had a lot of shortcomings this year, right? There's no doubt about it. From the coaching to the defense. But
you just named the biggest reason why they wouldn't win this game. The coaching.
Yeah, you did.
It would be man. I just this is a little bit of homer, but also a little bit of just I felt like fate.
Okay.
If you tell me Cincinnati gets in, they're going to be the toughest out you could possibly get.
They're going to be the easiest out. The Buffalo is cheering that they get the Cincinnati.
That's not true. No, I guarantee you they're not.
But cheering.
There's no way. There's no way.
Minnesota versus Tampa.
Nobody wants to see them.
Minnesota versus Tampa Bay.
I'm going to take Minnesota.
Yeah, you have to. There, yeah. Then you got Washington versus LA. Rams.
Oh, I saw the purple.
I got to take the LA. I got to.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, you like the Rams, huh?
When Matt Stafford is off, he's off. And right now, I just don't know.
Here's the thing. I don't want to say I'm not. I don't want to say I'm Rams, but they've been in this situation before.
Yeah,
they won Super Bowl before. And
better coach, better quarterback. I mean, not better quarterback, but more experienced quarterback now than Jaden. I get it. I get that pick. Green Bay versus Philly.
If you tell me that Hurts is going to be healthy and you tell me Barkley's going to be good to go and all that, I have to take Philadelphia.
I think they are. I think they're just resting them to have them ready for the following week.
I don't know what happened. Philly go over here before we go to the next round.
Yeah. So, all right. I also have Pittsburgh versus Houston. I'm going to go ahead and pick Houston in this matchup. I agree. I don't think this is a great Pittsburgh Steelers team. I just think it's another one and done or a 0-1. Show up and out with Mike Tomlin and this offense has been losing nonstop. They're not hot. They're not a good team at this moment. They're lucky to be in the playoffs. LA versus Baltimore. Again, you got another MVP season from Lamar Jackson. and Derrick Henry's going to be healthy and playing. And I don't think the LA Chargers has enough for this offense to stop them. And I don't think they can keep up. So I'm going with Baltimore here. Denver versus Buffalo. This is where we separate a little bit because I have Denver going in. Both teams that can play in the cold, but none of these teams, Bo Nix and his team hasn't played like in the cold weather game yet, and they're going to have to go to Buffalo after, some bad weather's coming. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to take Buffalo because they are playing hot. You probably have MVP Josh Allen going to lead this team far away, and Buffalo wins this game pretty handily. Then you got Minnesota at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay made the playoffs, but Minnesota is the better team right now, better coached right now. Everything's just working out for them. I don't know if Tampa Bay has enough on defense to stop the offense. So we got Minnesota advancing. Then I got Washington at LA. I'm gonna also agree. I like Washington, but again, I'm not a huge Dan Quinn fan. Maybe he's changed enough, or Cliff Kingsbury's done enough on the offense right now to help. But Jaden Daniels, rookie, makes mistakes, throws some picks. LA is finding ways to win, and they're hot, and they're the team you really don't want to play right now. And it would be in a home game, even though
they've been there before.
It's LA. There's no home advantage in LA. It gets a market with a lot of people, but the worst fans possible.
I mean, like, they have had more fans lately. I mean, I think that's just like LA is like San Diego. When you are winning, the fans are going to fill up.
Yeah, and then Green Bay versus Philly. Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley sound like they're going to be healthy and ready for that matchup. This Packers, we almost beat this Philadelphia team at week 1 of the year in Brazil, but we're just not there. Like we're very predictable. We're injured all over the place. We have no secondary. I don't know how we can stop Devontae and AJ Brown or Saquon. We have holes all over the place on this defense. This isn't our year. We made it to the playoffs again, and we're out. Philadelphia wins. Go ahead, Chris.
All right, Pittsburgh at Houston. Man, it just comes down to who do I think is better? And I think it's Houston. Houston could pull it out. I think, and then Mike Tomlin's last game. Bye, Mike Tomlin, no overrated. You guys, I hate you guys, but I'm gonna pick my team. I'm homering. I think I can get over.
Oh, I'm the only non-homer this year. Think about that. We all know that's bad.
I can get over. They didn't play them once. They got dominated. We're gonna shut Lamar down, and we're gonna once again in the wild card round. Cincinnati, Buffalo. Sorry, Tyler. I'm really proud of the Bengals for making the playoffs and doing all that they did, but Buffalo was too good.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Tampa Bay. I can't see Tampa Bay winning. They just stand up. Austin at the Rams. You know what? I believe in this Washington team. I think they get the win here.
You're taking the commies, huh?
I'm taking the commies.
I like it.
And you know what? I'm taking all the NFC away teams here.
There's no way you're taking the Packers.
You did well in the college football playoff. I think they're not. I think Jalen Hurts gets knocked out of this game, and we get to see 10 tickets of 20 interceptions.
I don't want that. I'd rather have the pick, a couple higher picks, than not get moved to the next round and lose to whoever we're going to get Detroit again for the third time. If I have to watch us lose to Detroit for the third time,
all right, so now that over the Tyler bracket. There we
Tyler
go.
for the divisional rounds. And Tyler, your first pick is Houston at Kansas City.
Yep.
What do you got?
Got to give me them Chiefs.
Yeah. Let's be honest. The Chiefs are the worst 1 seed in a very long time. Like
I have never seen a team this bad, but
Well,
they somehow
you
end up beating Houston.
You know the Chiefs are, but that's all right because they're going to get handled.
you're taking Houston.
No. I'm taking.
Sorry.
I thought you said Kansas City, but
They're getting handled in the next round.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh. You can see it coming. All right, then you got Baltimore.
Cincinnati and Baltimore.
Yeah. You got Cincinnati versus Baltimore.
Who do you think I'm taking?
You're taking Cincy.
Of course I am.
And
Come
then
on.
you got Minnesota at Detroit.
Oh man, for the fourth time?
Yeah.
Third time?
Third time. It would be the third time.
Oh man. You know what? You're not beating a team 3 times, so because of that, give me Minnesota.
They split in the regular season.
Okay, well.
I'm pretty sure they split. Let me.
Yeah, they lost them both times.
Yeah, they're 14-2, and I'm pretty sure they only lost to them once. I don't think they got swept by. Give me a second. I'm going to standings here. My internet's running stupid slow, so you got to give me a sec. Minnesota lost to the Rams and the Lions.
Okay.
They're 1-1.
1-1. Okay, give me Detroit then.
And then you got LA Rams versus Philadelphia.
You gotta give me the Eagles.
Fly.
All right.
All right.
For me, I got Houston at Kansas City. I'm taking Kansas City. I don't see this Houston team winning a round is a good year for them after their fourth. Then I got Baltimore at Buffalo. This is gonna be a great game because you got the 2 MVP talent, the most valuable quarterback. Let's be honest, because it's not the most valuable player anymore because it's always a quarterback.
Anybody else no more.
Yeah. So I'm going to go. I believe in this team. Lamar still hasn't shown enough in the playoffs. I know this is his best year, but cold weather, he doesn't do as well. He's going to Buffalo. I am taking this Buffalo team. And then I got Minnesota at Detroit. I'm still sticking with – actually, you know what? No. I hate doing this. I hate this. But this is what's going to happen. I'm calling it. It's going to be Minnesota at Detroit. 1-1, rubber match. What's going to happen? It's going to be a close game. Dan Campbell is too cocky and goes for it one too many times, and it fails him and makes him lose a playoff game again. And Minnesota wins this game because of better coaching and more conservative coaching from Kevin O'Connell over at Minnesota. So I got Minnesota winning this game. Then I got LA Rams versus Philadelphia here. This Philadelphia team is just that good right now. If Jalen Hurts is healthy, Saquon Barkley's healthy, Rams defense could probably put a stifle on them. This could be a lot closer than what people think, but I don't know if the Rams have enough firepower in Matthew Stafford's arm anymore to keep up with this Jalen Hurts-led Philadelphia Eagles roster. So I got the Eagles winning this one. All right, Chris, your turn.
All right. Oh, man. Probably again. And I think Tyler just said like 5 minutes ago, it's very rare that you swing a team 1 time.
Yeah.
Tyler's been swept so far.
You're not picking the Chargers to advance.
We're getting swept.
Okay.
He don't really mean that. He's just BSing us.
He wants it to happen, but he knows it's not.
I mean, even if we win, the last in the over.
Hey, like somebody I know used to tell me back in the day, you just got to put your nuts on it.
Yeah, when you putting the nuts on that.
And then Houston versus Buffalo.
Man, Buffalo is it, bro.
Green Bay
And
versus
I hate to tell you this, little thing, but this is
we're getting slapped 3 times too.
Yep.
Murder burned down the building if I have to watch us lose to Detroit.
No, I just realized I'm picking all the home teams.
You went all away and now you're going all home.
Well, I just don't see this happening. Like, Minnesota, Washington, congratulations, you got the divisional round, won it in, but Minnesota is so good.
God damn! If you give
They
me
have all this firepower.
Detroit NFC Championship game, you are like making all Packer fans cringe, sir.
I'm sorry, I don't like it either. But
All right, let's go ahead and Tyler. Tyler, you're gonna finish it out. You're gonna do your championship and your Super Bowl pick here.
yeah,
So you got Cincinnati versus Kansas City.
Cincinnati.
my lord.
I'm going to preface this at the end, so just give me a moment to explain myself.
Homer, you had your
You are full homer here.
Detroit, sir.
Well, in my defense, you guys have made me do this because we don't know the outcome yet of the 7th seed.
You did it. You could have been realistic, sir.
In my mind, I am being realistic, but I will give an alternate scenario.
All right. Detroit and Philly. Philly at Detroit.
Detroit, 100%.
So you got Cincinnati, Detroit, Super Bowl. Who's winning it?
That's a blue-collar Super Bowl that I haven't seen one.
If it comes down to this game,
Detroit destroys you.
in New Orleans,
Detroit destroys
in
you.
New Orleans,
Detroit destroys you.
where Burrow's at,
Detroit
I want
destroys
Cincinnati Bengals. But listen to me. Now, this sounds silly because we don't know if they're in yet.
you. Tyler, even if they're in, you know they're not winning.
I swear to Christ,
Ugh.
if they get in, I do think they can go to the Super Bowl.
And win the Super Bowl against Detroit.
Absolutely. But listen, I am going to
man.
listen. I'm going to give an alternate pick because we don't know for sure who's even going to make the 7th seed. This might not even. Cincinnati might not have no control over it, right? Kansas City could lose. I mean, Kansas City could lose. The Miami, whatever. So, if the Bengals do not make the 7th seed, my Super Bowl would be Buffalo versus Detroit.
Should have just made it that because that's what's going to happen when you face them if you make it. It's Buffalo.
No, I don't. No. If that's what happens, trust me, they are in trouble because Joe Burrow's on another level. He's going to dick them. Look, this is going to be them right here. Hold on. Are you ready?
Not shocking that Tyler, again, yet again, Homer shows his true colors and Homer's hard for Cincinnati winning it all.
My lord.
So, all right.
All right, this is a real scenario here.
We got Buffalo versus Kansas City. Buffalo is the only team to beat Kansas City, and it's going to continue. Buffalo will go into Kansas City and beat them and make it be the AFC representative for the Super Bowl, and the three-peat dies here. Kansas City just chances the three-peat.
I messed it up.
No, you're fine. Oh, you took it away. And then Philadelphia at Minnesota. This is an interesting one, but this is what happens. Minnesota chokes. That's what they do in football and all sports in Minnesota. After living there for 2 years, that's all they do.
What just happened there?
I did that. But Minnesota chokes. This isn't the greatest team they have, but this is going to give them enough confidence to go and get Sam Darnold for this year and for him to choke and not be the Sam Darnold, and they trade to JJ this offseason. This is high confidence of hope for the Packer in me that they keep Sam. Sam regresses massively next year, but they trade JJ in the future away and keep Sam and give him a big contract. Dude, that's what they're talking about. They're making the calls. They're making the calls to keep Sam and trade JJ. It's not. It's don't be shocked.
Darnold's only 27, man. I mean, there's no reason to sign him and keep both.
Right, I get it.
But they don't have a second, a third, or a fourth. Minnesota. So if you could trade JJ and replenish draft,
did they move up to get JJ?
They did. No, they moved back up and got not Will Anderson, Dallas Turner. Remember they traded up. They had 2 first-round picks, and they used and moved up. And
how is Dallas Turner?
He had a sack against Green Bay. I mean, he hasn't. He's what we expected. He's not going to be an elite pass rusher, but he'll.
We never really thought he'd be like Will Anderson.
No, but I'm going here. I'm going Philadelphia. I don't think Minnesota is.
Philadelphia, I would like that.
Yeah, and then I got Buffalo versus Philly, but Buffalo's curse is over, and Buffalo wins the Super Bowl.
Goodness gracious, man! Talk about blue collar Super Bowl here.
All right, there, Chris.
I can hardly not remember when I kept saying Josh Allen was overrated.
Yeah, and you said
I
that
don't
they
think
should.
he's overrated. I think they're gonna take the teeth down and show that they're really not that good. All the his team's been living by the seat of their pants for like the whole season. It's gonna fight them in the rear end in the playoffs. All right, Minnesota at Detroit. Man. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like looking and saying, "Oh man, Hamilton going for it." I think they're just gonna handle business and win.
It's not hating, it's truth. Dan Campbell's ballsiness will destroy him again.
By the way, but this is what Dan Campbell's ballsiness will destroy him. And Buffalo is gonna get over.
I like it. I love it. So we have 2 Buffaloes. We have a unrealistic Bengals.
We have a Bengals, a Detroit,
and a Buffalo.
We got 3 Buffaloes.
We got a lot of Buffaloes.
Hey, if Cincinnati makes it into the 7th seed, I'm gonna be owed a lot of apologies. Get them lined up.
You can predict them being in the 7th seed. Them running the table is not happening.
That's my thing, though. If they get in,
they're not running the table. They're not running the table.
It's gonna be serious.
They're not running the table.
Listen to me when I tell you this. If you never listen to anything I've ever said before, if you tell me if you're telling me that somehow, some way the Bengals make it into the 7th seed after everything they've been through this year, if you think they're not making out of the first round, you're insane.
Hold on, I gotta show this on the screen. Hold on, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. If y'all ain't picking the Bucks to win it all, then you're doing it wrong.
Well, JT, we're doing it right because you damn well know that the Bucks are winning it all. But JT is Tyler when it comes to beliefs in his team.
Yeah, if we
JT
had
probably
JT on the show, he would have had the Bucks running the gauntlet.
Oh God! But all right, folks, that's it for this week's. There's our Super Bowl our playoff predictions with Week 18 predictions coming up this weekend. saying that next week we are starting our top 10 positional players for the NFL draft of 2025, and we are starting with safeties. So tune in next week where we rank our top 10 safeties of the 2025 NFL draft. Yeah. Gotta start studying. Y'all have a great week.
Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.